Hello everyone and welcome back to COPSUPPLY. In this video we're going to be overviewing BNB Nike bots. I'm going to go ahead and go through the entire bots here. Let's begin with the functionality of the application. When you have the application here, you can go ahead and resize it if you wish accordingly. Also you have the minimize button, the full screen button and the X button. For this overview I'm going to go ahead and put the bot in full screen. So I'm going to maximize it. It will look like this in full screen. So let's go ahead and break down the top and work our way down. So we have the check updates button. So when we hit this button, it's going to go ahead and download the update, as you guys can see there, and we can also click cancel updating. I'm going to go ahead and click cancel updating for the overview. Then we have the help button. If you hit the help button, you have a sneakers tutorial, early links, documentation, frequently asked questions, rent a server and contact us. Then the next tab is import data. You can import accounts format, import account from clipboard. So that means any accounts that you've gone ahead and copied onto your clipboard will be imported through there. Then we have import CC format and import CC from clipboard. So one of the features within BNB Nike bot is to be able to import things through your clipboard. So moving to the tools section, we have sneaker calendar. So if you go ahead and click this and give it a second, as you guys can see, this tag goes and pops up and shows the releases. And within this, you have the name, the date based on your local time, the style code, the publish type, the selection engine, and available. And there you guys go. You can go ahead and search through your products here as well. Then we actually have a sneakers monitor. So if you go ahead and click this, you can go ahead and configure the webhook with its name, the URL. You can hit the product releasing today button, and obviously when I prompt you to go ahead and put a webhook in here, then you have the upcoming Leo products, all upcoming products. Then you can click add new webhook to add a new webhook. You can click here for instructions if you want to go ahead and get instructions regarding this. And also with any changes you go ahead and make, you can go ahead and click save, and that will save the changes. Then we have the Nike Plus account creator. So this box goes and pops up when you click that. You can go ahead and create an account. So you can use Gmail or you can use a custom domain. It's completely up to you. You can use .trick or use +trick, and obviously the email is there as well. Then you can preview Nike username. As you guys can see, depending on your email that you put in there, it will go ahead and generate some usernames. Then for your password, you can go ahead and do this. You can generate a random name as well. It's up to you, or you can configure it. Number of accounts, you can also configure this as well. You have your export settings. You can actually save to main bot window or export to text file, and it will go ahead and prop up a file directory. And then going towards the bottom here, it says note the creator will open and close Chrome windows. Please do not close manually. Check login main bot window. This will only create accounts. Please verify using the verify accounts tab. The creator and verifier will only use a machine IP, no proxy support. We are working on a browserless version. Please stay tuned. Then at the bottom here we have a use proxies button. You can configure these threads as well, and then we have a little section to show the accounts being created. And then we have a note at the bottom saying regular users can only create 5 accounts per day. Upgrade to ultimate to create unlimited accounts, and you can hit this button to go ahead and upgrade. If you're on the upgraded version, then that button will not be there. Then obviously you have the start button and the stop button, and you can go ahead and hit the start button once you have everything configured. However, there is another tab called verify accounts. So on this page you can go ahead and verify your accounts that you do import. So you can import from bot, import from file, and from clipboard. Then we have the manage section. If you go ahead and import any account, you can remove selected. If you go ahead and select it from the drop down here, so obviously give your email, phone number and status. If I were to select a few accounts and hit this, it would remove the selected. Alternatively, you can also remove all of them. Then obviously you have your start button and stop button. You can configure the mobile country as well. At the moment it's Canada and the UK. You can use proxies or not use proxies, completely up to you, and actually use Nike new SIM project on get MS codes. You can use this as well. Then you have the export account section. So you can actually export to bot and export to file, and also set export format. And then at the bottom, your regular users can only create 5 accounts per day. Upgrade to ultimate to create unlimited accounts. Once again promoting their ultimate version. Obviously the button is there to go ahead and check it out. Then you have the get SMS code settings. You can go ahead and put in your email here. Alternatively, you can sign up here. Then the API token goes there, and then before you first use it, you have to click here and add Nike #462 to your favorites. Then you have the save button at the bottom. Then we have the Nike account /access checker. So we're going to go ahead and drag this here and size it. You can read everything. It says enter accounts 1 per line separated by comma, colon or tab. Then click add accounts. So you have like a couple of examples here. You have a few options on how you want to do it. Once you go ahead and put accounts in there, you click the add accounts button, and it will appear here in the formation, email, password, and also the status of the account. You can alternatively import from file. You can actually import from mainbot window. You can check for mobile verification, check for exclusive offers, and retry failed. And obviously you can stop the checking process with this button. Then similar to what we talked about before, when you actually select accounts in here, you can remove selected, you can export all the accounts you put in here to a different location. This will go ahead and pop up a file directory. You can export selected, so you can select certain accounts and go ahead and export it. You can export green, meaning the ones that were successful. You can remove all if you wish. And you can also hit this button to set the export format and also copy green to main bot window, and that will appear over there. Then we have the Nike order checker. If you're going to hit this, is very similar to what we actually just looked at before. However, you enter your accounts here exactly the same to what we talked about before. You enter them here, you can import from file, import from the main bot window, and then you can change the number of orders to check. You can hit the button to go ahead and check orders, then obviously the stop checking button to stop checking orders, and it says at the bottom here, select rows and press Ctrl+C if you want to export results. You can then paste in Excel or Notepad, click on the column names to sort, right click on column headers to show passwords. Obviously they're referring to the ones at the top here. So you have email, order ID, style code, status, date, and product name. Now moving over to Proxy Checker, BNB actually has its own Proxy Checker, so I'm going to go ahead and put my proxy in here. It says enter proxies, one per line. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Go ahead and blur it out for this video, but the proxy is there. Then you can go ahead and configure the timeout between tests, the max threads, and then you have the test for sneakers button. So I'm going to go ahead and test it here. So we hit test. I can go ahead and click stop testing when in the middle of it, or I can wait till the end. So if you have a look at what's changed here, you have the proxy that's there, it's blurred out, but you can clearly see this text. The status is 200 OK, the speed is 521 milliseconds, and the country's IT. Then at the bottom, it says total proxies in total. I've only entered one, and then obviously it tests it. So let's say you were to put 100 proxies in here, and 50 came back as good and 50 came back as bad. The working proxy will be 50, and the non-working proxies will be 50. But in this case, I put in one, and it works. That's why working proxies is 1. Then you have a tip here saying use the delete key to remove proxy rows. If you wish to do that, you can. You can also export the results to CSV, and you can also save working proxies, which is what I'm going to go ahead and do. And when you go ahead and do that, it says 1 proxy is added to bot settings. You now have a total of 2 proxies. I'm going to hit OK, and it goes in and closes out the application. Then you have the deactivate button. So if you hit this, it says, are you sure this will deactivate BNB on this computer? Use this only when moving between computers. Click no to cancel. So obviously I'm going to continue this overview, so I clicked no. However, that is an option there. Then we have the settings box for Twitter settings. We have the Twitter account, Twitter password, and the monitor account. I have it disabled at the moment, that's why it's grayed out. However, you can go ahead and hit this and it will become ungrayed out, and you can go ahead and put in your Twitter account, the password, and the monitor account. Alternatively, when you hit this box, it disables it and it uses only earlier links. Then you have the options section, so you can go ahead and configure your size type. So I can do men, GS, and O. And then for the site, you can go ahead and choose what type of Nike site you're going to go for. I live in the UK, so I'm going to hit UK. Then as you guys can see at the bottom, the log changes it, but we will get to that in a second. Then you can enable email notifications, send password and notifications, do not retry unsold, and then you have the skip to fail logins button as well. And then we have to break down the advanced options box. On advanced options, you have notification settings, Discord notifications, add/edit proxies, and manage cards. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the notification settings here. This box is going to pop up. Notification settings are only available in the ultimate version. So as you guys can see, when I hit OK, all this is grayed out because that is configurable in the ultimate version. Then we have Discord notifications. You can go ahead and, very similarly to what we talked about earlier in the overview, configure the name, configure the URL, and you can configure it to only send checkout notifications. So if you hit this, only checkout notifications will come through. However, if you don't hit this, other type of notifications will go through to the webhook. You can hit this button to add a new webhook, and you can click here for instructions. If you're still unsure, then obviously once you make some changes in here, go ahead and hit the save button. Then for the add/edit proxies button, you open this up, and as you guys can see, my proxy from before is there. Obviously I've blurred it out, but you can see that there's 1 proxy there. And what you guys can actually do is hit the button to do not allot real IP to any account. So that means allocating your real IP to any account. If you hit this, your actual IP that you're on will not be allocated. And then you have your line count. Obviously it's at 1 because you have 1 proxy. And then you have the OK button as well. And then it's telling you to use tools and the proxy checker to test your proxies, which we've already gone ahead and done. So I can hit OK here. Then before we end off this section, you have the reset all settings buttons. If you want to do this, then you can go ahead and do so. Then for accounts, we have email address, size, style code, early links, proxy, and checkout. I'm going to go ahead and add an account in here so I can go ahead and break down the overview further. But before I do that, I'm going to break down these buttons and then I will go ahead and show you how to add an account. So we have the add button, obviously indicating to add an account, the edits button, the remove button, the clone button, hide disables, edit account info. So this is a drop down, you can edit all accounts, the size, the style code, the early links, the sneakers keyword, and the CC info. So this will be abbreviated as mass editing if you want to do that. And also you can edit selected accounts from the account section, and the same thing as well. So your size, the size code, early links, sneakers keyword, and CC info. Then you have the import and export button. So if you hit this, is drop down, you can export accounts to clipboard, to file, similar with your import accounts, and the exact same with your export CC profiles and import CC profiles as well. And then the final few things before I go ahead and add an account here, I have the start button, and alternatively I have a drop down here so I can start and also schedule. So if I hit this, the start later tab goes and pops up, and depending on your local computer time, this will go ahead and start at the dedicated time, given that the bot is actually activated. So once you make any changes, hit the save button, and then you can go ahead and do that. And then when you're running your account, you can also hit the stop button if you wish, and then you have the view added products. If I hit this, I can go ahead and view my added products once I actually add them. And when I go ahead and hit the add button, and then the account details tab is going to pop up. So we have account details and also checkout. So over here we have our email address. You can also hit guest account if you wish, so it'll only ask for your email. Then you have password, you have the option to show your password when you're typing it in. Then size, however this will be grayed out when you hit random sites if you wish to do that. Then you have early links, your style code, and that is required for sneakers. Then you have your sneakers keys word. If you want instructions regarding that, you can hit this and there's a guide that you can go ahead and follow. Then you have your notification email, and then you have your text notification carrier. So there's a bunch of carriers here that you can choose from, and you can also enter your number here. And then for checkout, you have your credit card details. You can enable credit card checkout if you wish, and then you have the select card drop down, and that is empty, and that is because we have to check out the manage card section, which I will in a second. It was up there as well, so we're going to go ahead and break that down. However, I'm going to go ahead and fill out the account details box first. As you guys can see, I've gone ahead and added an account. However, if I want to edit it at any point, I just simply double click the account and it goes ahead and pops up. I can make any changes in the account details section or the checkout section. So let's say if I were to enable this and I've made a change, I hit save and it goes ahead and saves this. Obviously I haven't selected a CC profile, so that isn't available. However, if I disable this and let's say I were to change the email, for example, from John Doe 1 to John Doe 2, and I hit save, as you guys can see, it goes ahead and changes in the account section. So obviously you can go ahead and utilize this button. So it's on a select account process. So if you hit this account here, I've selected it, I can hit the edit button, it goes ahead and pops that up again. Alternatively, I can hit the remove button. I'm going to show you how that works in a second. However, I want to carry out the clone button. So obviously my email is cloned because it's been selected, and then I can go ahead and remove it like so, and I can hit the hide disabled button if I wish. To break down the manage card section, we're going to go ahead and hit into this, and then a box goes and pops up. You can hit the full screen if you wish, and it goes and full screens it. However, basically this is where we create our profiles with our cards. So it says profile name. There's nothing there at the moment. I can add, edit, or remove. Obviously the edit and remove is an association when I actually have a profile there. So I'm going to hit add, and this CC profile box goes and pops up. You can configure your name, and then it says important, use variables to randomize CC profiles. Obviously that isn't important. And then if you wish to use the same shipping address as your billing, you hit this and this gets grayed out. So all your billing will duplicate over to your shipping part when it's actually botting the site. So for the billing, you have your first name, last name, address 1 and 2, postal code, phone, city, US state, Japan state, and then you have a few Japan options down there. And it says to note your country will be automatically selected given on your chosen Nike location. Then for your card details, you have your type, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover. Then your expiration, your CVV, and your card number. You can hit the preview button if you wish, and obviously your max checkouts as well. So if you wish to only have a few, then obviously you go ahead and configure it. However, you set it to 0, it is unlimited, and once you are done, you can go ahead and hit save. As you guys can see, I've gone ahead and put in some random information here. If I hit save, it goes and saves it, and video test, the profile name has been added. So if I actually hit this, as you guys can see, I can select it, I can hit the edit button and it pops it up again. Alternatively, I can hit the remove button if I wish. So now to break down the final few things, we have the log section. So anytime I've made a change during this overview, it's been logged here. So as you guys can see, when I saved my proxy settings, things in the overview, it got popped up here. Then at the bottom, you have our total accounts, which is 1, as there's only 1 account there. And then we have the green section at the bottom where it says updates valid to December 11th, 2020. So just to show you how the logs work, I'm going to go ahead and hit start. And as you guys can see, it goes through the process and it's logging in. So you can see it's waiting for all accounts to log in. It skipped the login. Guest mode will be used. It opens in browser if you want to go ahead and check out, and then log in successful. And now all the accounts are now logged in. Now if you're wondering why it isn't going through a process, it's because I haven't actually put in any early links or any style codes there, so it's got nothing to go off. It goes to the email login section and then does nothing else after. And then when you want to go ahead and stop your task, you hit the stop button and it goes ahead and says stopped by user. So that concludes the overview for Better Nike Bot at COPSUPPLY.